Welcome to When I Fell in Love with Hip Hop STL. I'm your show host, Israel Picasso. We tuning live from St. Louis, Missouri. Today's guest is from the legendary female group Climax, Rayn Jackson. Can you talk to the crowd real quick before we get started?
Hey crowd, how y'all doing? What's up? St. Louis, the Lulu out there. This is Rayn Jackson. How you doing?
Oh,
What's
Rayn
up?
Jackson. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now I gotta ask you. My first question I want to ask you is, can you let the crowd know where you from, and what group, what part of the group did you play in? Like, what was your
Um,
role in the group?
okay, I'm from California, and my role in Climax right now is singer. When I began with Climax, I wasn't actually singing with the group. I built a company with the original guitarist of the group, which is Cheryl Cooley. And so we built a label together and decided to develop the legacy of Climax, to continue the legacy of Climax. We developed a company. And so I'm just now starting, to sing in the group, but I've been a solo artist up until now.
Oh, okay. So, how was it for you growing up in California? Like, did you always know you had the talent to sing?
California. Yeah, I've been singing since I was a little teeny tot. I've always been a singer. Growing up, I decided, to study music and music business more than I wanted to be on stage and singing. So I studied that first in college, but I've been singing in school on stages since elementary school, singing in churches, and it's just part of who I am.
Okay. Okay. Who was your inspiration in those days? Like, what artists did you listen to that inspired you?
What days in elementary?
Like just growing up when you first fell in love with music,
Oh,
if you can remember.
yeah, I'm not that old. When I fell in love with, I don't know. I think music has always been a part of my life. I come from a musical family. I've always been in church, and so musical. I really can't remember specifically music. My firsts were New Edition. That was my heart. LL Cool J,
Okay.
Janet Jackson, of course, Michael. Um, just a lot. When I was growing up, I was under the influence of Christian opera. So I had kind of a different experience with music, specifically German and Italian operas. And so I didn't really understand hip hop and R&B. Didn't really get into that until I would say sixth, seventh grade. You know, Once I started having influences outside influence of peers and listening to their music, and spending nights and stuff like that, and that's where I started, learning different genres of music.
Okay. Can you talk about how the group Climax was formed? I know you just started in the group, but do you know how it was actually formed?
Oh
Or
yeah, I do. Climax was in the 80s, and it was three original members at first. It was Bernadette Cooper and two other ladies. So they started already as a girl band, and then Cheryl Cooley, who became the musical director at that time, she ended up joining that band and giving them a little flair of what we call the climax sound now. And so over the years, there has been members coming and going, but it's always been consistently Cheryl Cooley. So there was a time once, they start doing their hits, meeting in the ladies' room, and men all pause, and they start getting hot, and they start touring. Then some of the girls felt like, well, we can do this by ourselves, and they decided to have solo careers. Bernadette Cooper decided to have her solo career. So she dropped a couple of solos, projects during that time, and so did Joyce Irby during that time. And so Cheryl Cooley wanted to continue with the Climax band. So she started hiring, other ladies to take their spots. Joyce Irby was a guitarist, and so she hired another guitarist, and Bernadette Cooper was who they say is the founder of Climax, but she was a drummer, and so she hired another drummer. And as time progressed, it's just been an all-inclusive band. So we welcome. It's a self-contained all-female band, the only one. And so
Yeah.
we welcome female and try to empower female artists and singers and musicians. And so, if they want to be a part of Climax and then we welcome them. So it's never
Okay.
stopped. It's never stopped. It's always been.
Now I want to ask you, y'all signed y'all first record deal. Well, Climax, your group did with Solar Records, I believe. Do you know
Solar
about that
Records,
situation?
yes.
Like, how did it take place?
Um, I believe, if I can remember, it was Cheryl Cooley that went out and shopped the deal for them, and then they signed with Solar Records, and Solar Records was bought out by MCA, which is
Okay.
MCA was bought out by Universal, so now it's still a Universal Music Group artist. Even to this day, it's 30 something years later, and we never really left Universal, but Solar became now it debunked in that time, but now it's a European label
Okay.
overseas, and so we never signed with Solar, but the owners of Solar at that time, their children took over that label, and so now it's just Universal Music Group. And we wanted to start our own label and own our own masters and own our own publishing, and ownership was the thing now, especially transitioning into the digital age. We want to figure out how to do that, and so we did. We came up with the Climax Corporation.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to ask you, y'all went platinum a few times, I believe. How does it feel like being a part of a legendary group that went platinum, and what you feel like? Do you feel like you can do that again in this new age era?
Yes, we I think we were gold at first.
Okay.
Climax was gold with I Miss You and with Men on Pause, and we are now seeking. Well, we have platinum status with a lot of the other songs right now. We just haven't. I just haven't put in the application for the plaque yet, but we qualify now for a few platinum singles that we have. And I would say it's an accomplishment. It's a great accomplishment. And now Cheryl Cooley is in the Hall of Fame. She was in the Funk Hall of Fame first, and now she's also in the Female Songwriter Hall of Fame. So there's a lot of accolades that the group has been able to accomplish, and so I'm very proud of being a part of that and being able to support female artists and musicians. That's my biggest thing that I'm proud of. You know what I mean? To be that outlet for female musicians and to go hard for um, in the name of empowerment.
Okay. So you with you being a female artist, how do you? What's your formula to rap? Like making records or not recording, but basically like, what's your formula to writing? The songs. Like, what do you
Okay.
do? What
Yeah.
drives you? Is it something
Uh-huh.
that drives you?
Mm-hmm. Um, Experience. I started out as a rapper, and that's how I met, the Wu-Tang Clan. That's how I connected with Wu-Tang management, because in the beginning I was a rapper, and I've always written songs. I've always been a writer. I've written plays, and actually that's how I met Cheryl Cooley, was because I was interested in writing a screenplay for Climax, and we started working on that. And in the middle of that, that's when she learned that I was an artist. But my formula just really comes with my emotion.
Okay.
So one of my biggest songs that I hit the billboard with, which is Bullshit. I wrote that in honor of the Jacka. I wrote it maybe like 2 days after he got killed. You know, West Coast rapper, the
Oh
Jacka,
damn.
and I was speaking to, you know, at that time, the people who killed him, and so I went to Oakland and performed it because it was really, you know, I was really new as a rapper at that time, and I wanted to I hung with him. I didn't really hang with him per se, but we always performed in the same crowds, you know. And so it really hit me that the way that he got shot and why he got shot, you know. And so I wrote Bullshit. And
Yeah.
you know,
So
here
do
we
you?
go. Huh?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I was gonna ask you. Like, so basically, it was a record of not anger, but emotional,
Anger.
damn near anger. You know, like
Anger.
damn, y'all killed my. You know, like
Yeah. Yeah.
do
That's that
you remember
bullshit.
some of
Like,
the words?
yeah, of course. Niggas is tampons. They super extra. Fugazi, they shady. They lies is plethora. Checking these niggas. Pulling these whole cars. Run through your paper and then disregard. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? I
yeah.
was just like, you
Okay.
know, it's I was coming from a female aspect, like, you know what I mean? Y'all out here killing each other. And you know, the ladies out here, we need the protection, but we can't have the protection because y'all out here killing each other for nothing. So we just gonna play y'all like y'all been playing us, you know, and that's bullshit, you know. If you
Yeah.
know the story of
Damn.
Jacker and how he died, you know, he was on the corner ministering to somebody, you know, he was with the nation and he was
Mm.
ministering to somebody, you know, protecting our culture, protecting our young men, you know,
Yeah.
and they drove up on him and it was a drive-by. It was just bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
So
That was some bullshit. That's
it was some
crazy.
bullshit. It was some bullshit. And you know, as a West Coast rapper, you know, that's where I got my foundation, West Coast, Bay Area. You know, I was really affected by that, and I took that song and I performed it out there in Oakland, and it's a little encoded. You know, it
Yeah.
wasn't directly speaking to the situation, but it really was. You know, I knew
How did
that
the
at one
crowd
time.
respond to it?
Oh, they loved it because at that time there's not really many female rappers out there, you know, especially coming
Yeah.
from the Bay Area, you know, Northern California is only a select handful, and no one was really coming with my experience in music and art, and you know, I just had a whole nother different way of approaching my craft, and so I got good reviews on it, and after I felt like the song played out, because I wrote that song in 2010, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's around about the year, right? And so after that, it played out. To me, it played out. But everybody was like, "You need to put that out. You need to release it. You need to release it." And as
Yeah.
you see, I didn't release it until what? Till DJ Livewire's "Money in the Grave" came out, and he liked it, so he grabbed it. Was like, "Let's. This is a hit." Look
Yeah.
what it's out
I'm
there,
gonna
you
have to
know.
go check it out though. I want to hear it now. I ain't
Oh
gonna
yeah,
lie
you
to
gotta
you.
hear that. Yeah, about that
Yeah.
bullshit. Get your act right, and we can get it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's
Okay.
yeah, it's powerful. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Kind of
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go check that out
yeah,
for real.
get it, because it's kind of showcases that, you know, my vocals along with my rhyme skills. You know what I mean? But I really, like I said, I was in a place of anger and upset, turmoil about what had happened. So.
Yeah.
But you know, that anger got me a Billboard award. So
There you go.
I'm like,
You turned the
listen, if
negative into a positive.
that's how you do that's what you do with energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so now forever I'll be able to tell the story of how, you know, how the brother, it just marked a moment in time for me of how that was bullshit, how he died, and everybody needs to know, you know, stop that shit. That's, you know, it's stupid. He out here ministering and y'all killed him for what? killed him for what? He was making some
Yeah.
slappers at the time, you know, glamorous life. He was making some slappers, and then y'all just took him
Yeah,
for
okay. That Oakland talk.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bay Area, yay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yada yada.
yada 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 yada. Hey, you know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's my crew. Them was my brothers, and so you know they just took them for nothing. It's senseless, and so forever I'll be able to, you know, pinpoint that moment in time and speak to my brothers and say, this is bullshit. Y'all don't need to be killing each other. We supposed to be uplifting, even at this time right now. We supposed to be uplifting each other, and you know all that other bullshit. What's going on is irrelevant. We supposed to be sticking
Right.
together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's
So
that's.
I want to ask you what you got in the works now, like for us, like what projects you working on?
Oh, I got a bunch of them because you know, we're a label, and I just dropped a project called Raindrop Some More. It's a three-part series, volume 1, 2, and 3. And
Okay.
so the first volume was Christmas album. That was the first one I did. You know, I wanted to give honor to the Almighty, you know, me dropping my first full record, you know, put myself on the map. I wanted to give, you know, homage first, right? This is what you do before you eat. You gotta pray. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So this was my way of praying before I eat. So I dropped Raindrops Herb Middleton Volume 1. That's got MC Shyrock on it. That's got Allison Williams. It's got Nephew Tommy on it. It's
Oh
hot.
yeah. You
It's
got
hot.
some more. You got some. Yeah. You got some.
That's some
Yeah.
hitters on there.
Straight up.
That's some hitters. If you don't know nothing about that, you don't listen to that album on Christmas, you missing out. You missing out because the
Okay.
album is fire. It's so good that you can listen to it outside of Christmas. You know, you can listen to it for Christmas in July if you need to, because it's a hot record. With Herb Middleton as the producer, you know. And so Raindrops number 2 is it's a Valentine's Day album. So that has Climax on it. That has Sweet Randy Love, who's a Ike, and Ike Turner
Yeah.
Jr. Um, it that was banging too, you
Hey,
know.
but that's smart though. That's smart, like doing like albums for like holidays. You can sell them every season,
Every year,
every time they like. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a
every
good
year,
strategy.
yeah, every year, and that's really because you know. I'm sorry. I love holiday. I love the holiday time. You know, it's not necessarily about, you know, the holiday itself, but I love the idea of, you know, your family being together, and that be a peaceful time, a time of celebration for no matter what you believe in about the holiday itself. You know, it's just a time that you know, I go all out on holidays. I decorate the house, and you know, I go all out just because, you know, it's a creative thing to do. It was, you know, you could create that holiday for whatever you wanted the holiday to be, not for what it was meant for, you know. So the second album is Raindrops Loves Holiday, because I love holidays, right? And so that's a Valentine's album. It has a lot of ballads on there. It has, you know, an artist from Ghana that's priceless. You know, speaking love from Ghana. It has like I said, Freaky, Leon Haywood, and Sweet Randy Love. It's got that's a good one too. And I put a little
Okay.
mix on there because, you know, I love my Latino folks, so I didn't want to leave them out. And so I put Tito Puente Jr. He got a
Oh damn.
Spanish
So
joint on
you got
there.
some diverse shit. Your shit diverse.
It's diverse, you know, because music is universal. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so I wanted to put a little bit of everybody, and it was about me showing love, you know, coming into this game, showing love to those artists that you know that I F with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my motto is, if you F with me, I F with you. And those are the ones who really gave me support. You can go back and look through all the artists that gave me support along my journey. So this was really about me showing them some love and putting them, you know, pushing their singles and songs and stuff as
Okay.
well. So then the third one is Raindrops Some More. And that's volume 3.
Okay.
And that's all me. I didn't nobody else, you know, I sung on
No
it.
features, no nothing.
The only feature on there was DJ Live Wires. That's the only feature, you
Okay,
know.
okay.
I had to show him some love. But
Yeah, shout out to DJ Live Word.
shout out to DJ Live Wires, you know. So I he's on there with me, and I got an excellent producer. Odell Ross Jr. is on there with me, producing the album, you know. But we got a joint on there called Party Up, me and DJ Live Wires, and that is sick. It's
Okay.
sick. It's a good opening the party, open the show type joint, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to show everybody that I showed love to in the beginning that I could do this too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't just me trying to use everybody else's music. I was just showing them some love before I dropped mine. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's Raindrops Some More is volume 3.
Okay.
So yeah, y'all go check that series out. It's hot.
What's your method like when you in the studio, like picking beats? How you pick your beats for your record? Like you gotta have a certain vibe, or you just go off what you feeling at the time?
It really don't. To me, it doesn't matter. I don't even want to, go, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
if you put some music out there, I'm gonna figure out how to put something on top of it. That's just really all it is. You know what I'm saying? It's my method really is, let's say it's just a beat and it's got 2-3 instruments on it. You know, I just take one of those instruments and write something to that beat. You know what I'm saying? I just cut whatever words, like I have a song called Improvisationalism. And I was listening to the song from the producer and I said, nothing's really coming to my head. So give me a word, you know? And so he gave me a word. That's the word he gave me, improvisationalism. Improv is a form of creating music, you know? So it's a lesson in the actual song, but because he gave me that word, I used that word to show what improv was. You know what I'm saying? That word has a lot of different meanings, and in acting, improv is something that you do outside of the normal script. You know what I'm saying? So I was just really strategizing on that song by just the word that he gave me and listening to the melody and coming up with, the meaning of that word. In the song, improv, the song actually means that the person that, I was dating with at that time was improving the relationship, was pretty much not being truthful in the relationship. And I recognized that. And I said, this is just an improvisation. You're not even really, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go along with it because it is what it is. But it's an improv. So that's really what the song was, but it's like a 3-in-1. It gets a little complicated, but it's one of those songs, the albums that you have to listen to over and over and over again to really, you know what I'm saying? You got to get into it. Yeah. It's not just a beat and a hook and a verse. It's a lesson.
Yeah, it's an art to it.
It's an art to it. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So now I gotta ask you, what kind of advice and guidance can you give to the female youth that want to take your footsteps?
Keep going. Don't stop. Eventually, you'll get it. You learn if this is something that you love and it's your passion, it'll come to you. If it's a gift of yours, all you got to do is develop it. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that you need to learn or you want to learn, just learn it, study it, put your nose in it. Don't ever stop. This is a male-dominated industry, and you got to be a bulldog if you're gonna get past that. You can't let these males. And I'm not saying bless my brothers, peace and love to my brothers, but at the same time, you can't let the males in this industry use your femininity to stop your growth. Does that make sense?
Okay. It make a lot of sense. Yeah. I feel you. Understood.
Mm-hmm.
Understood. Now you got anything else you want to talk about? Anything else you want to say to the crowd?
Man, just shout out to you. Shout out to ATL. I've never been there. I want to go one day. So y'all gotta
STL,
yeah,
you said STL.
request your girl come out there because I mean STL. I'm seeing it on the screen St. Lou. I know I'm talking about
Yeah,
the Lou.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
looking
you
at
know what's
yeah, I'm talking about the Lou, right? But
yeah,
I've never been there. I've been to ATL a couple times before. You know what I'm saying? But
what's
I've
your
never been
ticket
to the
though?
Lou.
Like, what's your prices? Like somebody want to send you down to St. Louis for a show or something. What's your ticket?
It's negotiable.
It's negotiable. Okay.
It's negotiable. You know what I'm saying? The fam rate and the community rate is different from the I don't know you rate.
Hey,
So
hey,
that, you know,
that's real shit, and the price might go up.
yeah, it may cost you a little, it may cost you a lot,
Yeah,
but it's gonna cost you. You know,
that's real.
that's
That's real.
that's how we get down. But you know, what's up to the fam out there? I got a few fam out there and stuff, and I just appreciate y'all. Shout out to Livewire Radio Show. You know, that's my home right there. And you know, DJ Livewire is putting your girl on a lot of different things. You know, he's been rocking with me from day one, my A1 from day one. So
That's what's up. That's what's
yeah,
up.
shout
I
out to him.
appreciate you
Shout out
coming
to you.
on this platform, actually, and bringing your frequency here, and expressing,
Yes,
your form of music, your form of art, because that's what
yes,
this is. This is like you said, it's universal. It's a frequency
universal.
that even when we gone, it's still gonna be here. So we gotta leave our legacy.
That's right. That's right. And you know, I don't. And sometimes you call it. I mean, can I cuss on this platform?
Yo, yeah, you good? Go
Okay.
say what you gotta say.
Sometimes
Your
you cut.
shit.
Sometimes you got to call a bitch a bitch. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But you can't do that every day. Sometimes you got to caress them. What's up, my love? And you know what I mean? That's the same with your music. You can get you sometimes you got to do that hardcore and let them know and be a beast up on them. But then sometimes you got to caress the frequency and you know what I'm saying, show some gentleness and show some love and you know be in that element sometimes. I
yeah,
like
it
the
gotta be
latter.
a balance. It definitely
Yeah,
gotta be a
it has to be
balance.
a balance. It's okay. It's okay to be with the rah rah because you know I'm from the Bay. I like the rah rah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like to get
yeah.
down, get down. But then on the other side, sometimes you got to put on that suit and that tie and show that you can be that other person. You know, so that you can have some commercialism to you. You know,
Yeah,
so
most
that's
definitely.
really what I'm about. Just you know, keeping both levels and pushing both sides of the game.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I appreciate you again coming on this platform. This is another episode of When I Fell in Love with Hip Hop SCL, and we out of here.
Yes. Peace. Wu Tang. That's my love, hip hop.